Hey y'all. So I want to share a technique I've been working with recently that I found is particularly good for clearing and moving stagnant energy. This can be mainly emotional energy, tension, any type of constriction within the body, within the energy centers. Doesn't really It's not really limited in my experience to what seems to be. It can be applied to pretty much anything that seems to show up, and it's just a fairly basic visualization technique, and I call it black flame clearing. So what I like to do is I generally will locate the energy within the body, within it, wherever it is, the energy centers, and just kind of flow with it. And once just kind of, it can be a general awareness. It doesn't have to really be too specific in this matter, but you can go in and I've been using my hand as this, and typically I'll hold it like this. I'm going to hold it a little higher than I usually would, just so you can kind of see it. But usually I just kind of hold it lower, like sitting, resting right above my lap or something. I don't have it. Usually I do kind of have a little bit of tension in it, and more for me, my right hand is usually where I end up with the most of it. I do both sometimes, but for me, it's usually more the right hand. And there are correlations and things with that, but I don't really see that as being too important. So I'm gonna close my eyes and just kind of go through it. So I hold this hand, and I do tend to have a little bit of tension here. I'm not like really, really being tight, but there is like a general, because this is where I'm really focalizing and holding it. So there is like a little bit of tension, a little heaviness there. That's just for me. I'm not, however it seems to show up and work for you is great. This might not be for everybody. So I'll go in, and just as I breathe in, and I almost draw, as I'm breathing in, it draws up the flame, you could say, a flame, and I visualize a black flame coming up. You can do that a couple of times, just with the breath. You can kind of go ahead and get synchronized with the chakra system, and you can start at the root and come up, and as it comes up, you can tend to feel it focalize more in the region where you're holding it. So once you kind of have that flow and that feel there, the intention here is to infuse this energy with light. And how it shows up here is what I do is I breathe like what I was just doing. Breathe in, and the outflow almost seems to come out almost, and it doesn't have to be, this can be in between the throat and the third eye. Sometimes, the higher heart is oftentimes associated with the thymus. So it can vary in my experience, but generally it's in this area or through the third eye. And I visualize the light basically going out and shooting through, and as it hits that, it just clears it and disperses it into the light that is the entirety of the field, the entirety of the world. So I'm going to go through that with the eyes closed. It's kind of hard to do this and explain it, because I can't really talk and explain it at the same time, or I can't really I can only talk and explain it at the same time. I can't talk and do it to the fullness at the same time if I'm explaining it and describing it. So And you can usually feel a relaxation with that, a clearing out, an emptying out. So, and that can be repeated. Again, you can kind of flow with it like I was in the beginning to get that flow, that build up, that concentration. If you've really got something heavy, something really constricted within you, it might take a few breaths to really seem to try to get that localized. And you know, once it's there, then on that out breath, on whichever seems to, when it really feels like it's appropriate to go ahead and just infuse that, to let that flow out, just go ahead with it. Just so, yeah, that's it. Very simple, very simple technique. I kind of see it very similar as the violet flame. To me, it almost creates the violet flame as that white light hits the black. It essentially, that is the violet flame. It turns into the violet flame and flows out, clear, free, as as it's intended to be with Source. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. If it works, if you enjoy it and it seems like a good technique for you, cool. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. So peace and love. Thank y'all.